What is up, guys? Fear of God here. I was recently asked about how I got my snipers and my marksman rifles to platinum so quickly, so I'm going to go ahead and do those for the weapon guide next. The first, starting off with the dragunov. I'm going to do a general sniping guide first off for this first dragunov video, so yes, it will be a little bit longer than my recent typical videos. To get started into a first, general sniping tips is that for the first thing, I know that other YouTubers and such will tell you that you need to camp or lock down a position to be able to snipe effectively in this game, or to be able to play effectively in this game. I will tell you that I strongly do not suggest that, nor do I think that that is necessary in any way, shape, or form. As you can see on this, as you're watching the gameplay video, I'm moving around the entire time. I'm using the dragunov on shoot house of all maps, and I'm doing great. My best one was on shoot house with the dragunov, and I went 109 kills with the dragunov on hardpoint. So that'll tell you it is very possible. You just have to set it up correctly. The next major tip is that there's two different things that they added into this new Call of Duty. The first thing is that they added the focusing aim assist. I highly suggest that when you're using the snipers or the marksman rifles, that you use this focused aim assist, and only during them, because the reason why is because when you're sniping with a sniper rifle, it gives you circular aim assist, just like, or rotational aim assist, just like it did in Black Ops 2, if you remember that with the old ballista drag scoping. It gives that again in this game, but only to the marksman rifles and the sniper rifles. So it's a major help when you're doing that as far as quick scoping or anything like that. The next thing that I would highly suggest is, not only are you always moving around, but you need to learn how to center your scope. That's a real big thing, and that's one of the biggest things that you can really remember as a sniper anyway. The best thing to do is, if you are having trouble with being able to center your scope just by habit, you can take a piece of tape or anything like that and make a small square on your TV, or a small X, sorry, or cross, right where the center of your TV screen is, and until you can get the hang of it by itself, that'll help you with being able to center your scope almost immediately. The reason why this is so important is this game is a lot like Black Ops 2 again, in the fact that if you have your scope centered, and even if you just tap your ADS button before you actually fire, it will go exactly where it is instead of the usual hip-fire spread. So with that, that's a few general, real quick tips to be able, of quick scoping and sniping in Modern Warfare, to be able to help you out a little bit. And without further ado, we'll get right into the first build video here with the dragunov. Alright, so before we get started, I do have to do a usual plug for not only the clan, but also for the sponsors that we have. I'm sorry, but I'll make it real quick. I am FRA, Fear of God. If you have any interest in joining FRA, just feel free to drop me a message. I'll give you some more information or get you in. Just let me know. On top of that, as being with the clan, we are sponsored. I will give a quick screenshot up on the screen right now of some different discount codes that you can use to be able to take full advantage of the sponsors, whether it be some jerky, or whether it be some energy drinks, or some new gaming merchandise. Just feel free to use the codes and make it of full use for you. Helps us, and it helps you. All right, so a little bit more on the whole thing with the snipers in Modern Warfare here. The one big thing that through all the games that I've ever played is that there is no game that there's ever going to be exactly how it is sniping it in the real world. You don't have to, I mean, obviously you don't have to account for the Coriolis effect. You don't have to account for humidity with the fact of how the rifle is you know, how the rifling is in the actual rifle. You don't have to even have to account for the wind or the humidity, or even the fact that as the rifle is fired, the barrel is heating up and the metal contracts and the bullets are propelled even faster. There's so many different factors that come into actual sniping, and that has nothing to do with this, so don't ever think that it does. Now, there are some factors, of course, when you're going in and making some of the builds that does help, but it also contradicts the real life. For instance, in the game, you're looking to more increase not only your distance, but also your aim down sight speed. Obviously, in real life, you don't have that issue because you can aim down sight as fast as you want, but then you have to account for all the different measures. But, a little off track there, but let's get into the actual build itself. And the only reason why I said any of that, by the way, is just because it's always bothered me over the years. And having served in the United States Marine Corps as a force reconnaissance sniper with the 1st 6th Battalion, it has always a little bit bugged me with these games and how they're set up. But anyway, we'll get on into it. So, we'll get into the dragunov first off. Into this, we have the dragunov, my usual setup. I have a rocket for a secondary. I have EOD, hardline, battle hardened. We have a frag grenade and a stim. This one I use more as a DMR more than anything because it's not, I mean, it is a sniper rifle, but it's just as good as a DMR, honestly. But without further ado, we'll get right into the actual build here. Stop wasting your time. All right, so since we are using it as a DMR, the very first thing that I have on is for the muzzle, I have a compensator that helps it so that you can follow through that second shot if ever you miss that first shot for getting in the upper chest or head for the insta kill. It lets you get that little extra shot in there quicker. I have the 510 compact barrel, which gives me aim down sight speed and movement speed. At the minus of both velocity and recoil control. Both of the negatives, honestly, they're so not noticeable, so I don't really see it as a negative at all. And then got the tack laser on there, just aim down sight speed, aim stability, aim walking steadiness. At the cons of the laser is visible to the enemies, but honestly, you already got a scope glint, so you're already visible as is. No optic, just the standard sniper scope. And then I run the FTAC Stalker Scout, which gives me aim down sight speed at the con of aiming stability. Once again, can't really notice the con. Then I run the perk Focus. The reason why I run Focus is it gives you flinch resistance. If you've ever ran any of the sniper rifles in Modern Warfare, you'll notice that as soon as you're actually shot or even grazed by a bullet or anything like that, or damaged at all, your scope jumps up to the fucking sky. This helps you to be able to not have that issue to where it only jumps a little bit to where you can quickly compensate for it and follow through the next shot. Nothing in the ammunition, nothing in the underbarrel. Anyway, once again, this is the build. I hope that the general tips and the build helps you out. I'll continue on with each of the snipers and the marksman rifles and continue to give you the builds. But as you can see, I have them gold and platinum, which to be able to get them platinum, you have to have both the marksmen and the snipers all done. Without further ado, Fear of God is out. Thank you for watching.